Often, every discussion from experience, and hopefully within it delivers some deliverance. It's all facts and opinionated, from the West where that real spit originated. Brothers truly trying to save a soul, provoke thought so we can really designate a goal. We on that grown man scribble, the ball in our court with command on the dribble. This is something that'll help us show, cause it's something that'll help us grow. We see exactly what the people need. Now welcome to the show, Sptt'n Pollaseedz. Welcome to the show, Sptt'n Pollaseedz. Welcome to the show, Sptt'n Pollaseedz. Learn to listen when it's grown man talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Learn to listen when it's grown man talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Sptt'n Pollaseedz.
Sptt'n Pollaseedz Day.
Sptt'n Pollaseedz.
Hey guys, it's Sptt'n Pollaseedz Day.
Yes, sir.
What's up with y'all?
Man, I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
Trevor.
All is well, thank God. How are you?
Boy, he said that with force.
Wow.
It's the shirt.
God.
What are you,
With
I'm trying to
so
see what
much
he's looking at.
How are
you?
you? You asked me how I was doing. I said, I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, okay. Canoe.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
How are you, brother?
I'm great.
Yeah, let me
Great.
just.
Good.
Yeah, man.
I'm doing good.
We got a great show today, man.
Yes.
The title is, man, who raised y'all? So much going on in society, so much going on in life. I think it's no more nanas, big
no
mamas.
More big mamas. They didn't phased out.
I think we kind of off kilter a little bit.
Yep.
I agree.
So let's go around, man. Trevor, how was your week? Is it okay if I start with you?
It was balanced. Thank you.
Is that it?
Wow.
No,
it's okay, Trevor. It's okay.
Yeah,
We're not gonna yell at it. It was good. It's
okay,
fine.
perfect. Thank you.
That was short and sweet.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Oh my God, it's
short
gonna be a
and
great
sweet.
show.
Yeah.
Canoe.
Oh man,
hey man, I like that blazer, brother.
Oh man, yeah, I had to do it.
Yeah.
Summer start tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It feels like it started already. And to all of you at home, happy Juneteenth. Let's
Yes,
not go
happy
any
Juneteenth.
further before
Absolutely.
we celebrate.
Yes,
man.
yes.
Yeah.
And our condolences to people that we've lost.
Yeah.
Sister Juanita Pope, First
man.
Lady
You had to-
at
you just
Bethel
had to say it
Missionary
right now.
Baptist
You gonna
Church.
make me
The classiest lady one of the classiest ladies I've ever known.
hands down.
Also in that group, Willie Mays passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know him as well, but
Yeah.
he was a great athlete, and he represented the city well.
Yeah.
But overall, man,
Jerry West.
we doing
Jerry
good.
West.
Jerry
Yeah,
West passed.
Jerry West.
Yeah.
Kev.
Anyway,
Yes.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Man, I don't have no complaints, bro.
No.
I'm good, brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not even the seat you sitting in.
No, it's not.
I
Right
know
now it's
you-
comfortable. Some people may say
You normally
I'm
used
sitting
to
up
these
now.
luxurious.
Yeah, I get kind of comfortable
seats.
in the cushion,
In the cushy seats.
Yeah, in the leather
Oh, okay.
seats. So maybe this may help my
Yeah.
posture a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. E,
Is that it? Hey,
what
man.
about you?
Me, man, I had a very my birthday just passed
That's right. Happy birthday.
on Sunday, man. So I had a fabulous birthday.
Yes.
Did they show up?
Did the strippers you
Yeah,
said?
the strippers.
They did, but like, brother, I'm a Christian. I appreciate the
Oh, okay.
the gesture. I tipped them.
They was
though.
Christian too.
I made sure. I'm just saying,
One
I
was-
tipped them, but unfortunately I couldn't indulge.
I thought I seen one
You know
with
what
an
I mean?
usher
Yeah.
uniform.
Yeah,
on when I
yeah.
was there.
I had one dressed like a nun.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was marching in like she was going to the choir. Like, no, baby, you can't
Nah.
really come in here
Nah,
like
nah,
that.
nah,
Yeah,
nah,
this
yeah.
is a holy place.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I need a sanctified lady. You heard
Okay.
Marvin?
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, man. But over the weekend, let me say this: not over the weekend, but Monday, man, I was a part of something, a great initiative at the Getty
Seen it.
Museum. When I tell you, it was Black excellence.
Yeah.
It was the African American art and heritage initiation,
Mm-hmm.
and it was headed by person we have here as like she headed this whole thing. We have a special guest today. We're gonna introduce her in a minute, but man, it was just great to see Black excellence, really like all shades, all walks of life, and we were celebrated. We were vendors there, we were the musicians there, We were the speakers there. We was the artists there.
Oh,
we
wonderful.
was PR. I mean, the whole thing was curated splendidly.
That sounds like it was well orchestrated by the divine appointment, because you had Father's Day, your birthday, and you had that event that was awesome. So
I also met a sibling that I've never met before.
Okay.
There's so much, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know, in 4-in-1. So a bunch of emotions, but God is good.
That's good.
Yeah.
God is good. So, the title of the show, ladies and gentlemen, I know what you're gonna say. Hey, all right, I got this.
He got it, Trevor.
Yeah, I got it, Trevor.
Yeah.
The title of the show is "Who Raised Y'all?" Who raised y'all? And this special guest we have, is she's like a sister to me, honestly, in every sense of the word. Her name is Kimberly McDowell. Just a wonderful person, and I admire, one of the things I admire about her is that the way she raises her children. What's special about her is we've had her daughter on here. For those you don't know, Ariana Shalee is her daughter, who came here and spoke so eloquently and supports the Black man, and this is who raised her. So I think it's befitting that we had the tree come in and speak to how she raised the branches. She also has a son who's a phenomenal man. So for her to raise a son and a daughter in the society that we are in today, I think it's really dope that you agreed to come on and speak to us. She's a fan of the show. She watches the show as well. And yeah, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Kimberly McDowell.
Hello.
Thank you.
Is that any relation
That was a nice
to the
introduction.
Coming to America McDonald's?
Of course.
Okay, all right.
I feel so special.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
It's all
Appreciate
good.
it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hi.
Hello.
I know you don't shrink in the spotlight. Come on. Stand up. Sit. Come on. Talk to us. Talk to us, Kimberly.
Okay, what do you want to know?
What he didn't tell us.
Well, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not going to tell you what he didn't tell you.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Or
Let's do it.
expound upon.
No,
Okay, let's
go ahead.
just-
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Expound upon since you're the guest and your daughter, expound upon your parenting skills just a little bit, and give us some more of your background. We need a little bit more of your background.
Well, I am from South Central LA.
Mhm.
Proud LA.
Yeah.
I've been here since I was 5 years old.
Mhm.
My mother migrated me from Denver because it was too cold, and we came out here to visit, went to Disneyland, and she decided to stay. It was the best decision she ever made for me. So that's a little bit about me. I did grow up in LA during the crack epidemic, which was very traumatizing.
Let's share mics because this mic is probably better for you.
Is this better? Oh yeah, it's much better. Thank you.
I could hear you.
So
better.
I grew up here in LA. I'm an LA native, and during my time here, I've observed what for the lack of a better term, my homeboys have gone through, and I've been trying to reconcile that since maybe I was 12 or 13. And as a result, it was an input to my parenting skills, which is based on dignity and also a perspective, not my perceptions of people based on what media puts out there about our people. So I just try to debunk that. Well, I have debunked that, and it just permeated into my children with the help of God and his angels here on earth. That's basically it. And who are you pointing to? You asked me a question. You're supposed to be looking at me.
No.
To you.
Okay. Since you put me on blast, I was asking EP to get you to look at the camera because you were talking to us, and I want the audience to feel what you're saying.
Okay, which camera you want me to look at?
The one right in front of you.
Hi.
There you
Is
go.
that better?
Yep. There you go.
All right.
That's the only thing I was saying.
Okay.
I was listening.
Okay, what next?
No, that's all I wanted to know. I mean,
Yeah.
it ain't no cookie cutter approach here. We just wanted to know more about you. The audience wanted to know more about you.
Well, I'm teasing you. So
Yeah, no,
we're friends. Yeah.
You think I worry?
You know what?
Never
Can we
worry.
go to the clip? I think the clip will kind of give a little. We can continue.
Yeah. Let's talk about Trevor while we wait. No,
Well, we know who raised Trevor. He's a part of a bowling league, and he's probably golfs. What do I got? One of them right?
Neither of which. Neither of which.
He's part of the yacht club.
You know, if I could be, I would be. If I could be, I would be.
No, I think all of us are parents, so we could speak to how we parent. But how about we speak to how we were parenting?
Mm.
You know, like the good things that you experience that help raise you or rear you to be the man that you are today.
I think one of the most important things that affected or had an impact on my life was the cultural and the communal foundation of my family. It was matriarchal. However, later on in life, when my mom got married, I saw the balance between male and female strengths and them using both of it, and it kept a balance. It kept a balance for me. So being able to see and identify with a communal mentality that my family had. No one, we never ate on our own. We always ate together at the dinner table. There was no TV. There was always conversation. And then we were also able to pass down information from and about the generations and what I understand. And I know what my great-great-grandfather did. And we had conversations about that. We also cooked together. All of us, everyone in the family knows how to cook the meal. And then, for example, on New Year's Day, we all took turns cooking one specific portion of what's called a crab soup. So one person would switch off or two people would be at a station. And after a period of time, everyone knew the recipe to the main meal that we have every New Year's Day. Mm-hmm. Then individually, when we went to each other's house or visited, we all ate at a certain time. No one feels as if they got to go out and get it themselves. So gotcha. I think that right there was very important for me. And I think that if we did that as a community, it would help heal because we'd be more communal.
Yeah. So you not only had your mother and father, you had, not just your immediate family, but outside family that helped raise you or rear you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably what's more pivotal
yeah.
for me.
For me, what helped a lot was discipline and retribution for when we didn't do what we were supposed to. Like we got reprimanded for stepping out of line. And I do believe that when we took that away, when the legal aspects of parenting were kind of handcuffing the parents from applying discipline to the kids, I think we definitely had a shift in the culture. And it's sad because the parent would get arrested or fined or whatever for disciplining the kid, but the same kid at the same age, if they got out of line in the street, the police would beat them with sticks and a lot worse than we can do to prevent them from having to deal with them anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That's definitely something that was taken away that I believe
has hampered the raising of our children.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What about you, Kev?
Excuse me. Growing up in a single family home, you all know I lost my pops at 6 years old. Mm-hmm. But God blessed me with an amazing woman. That was my mom, because that was, she ran the house, just like you said. When it was time, you wasn't, you didn't do what you were supposed to do. You got disciplined. I think my last whipping, I was 15 years old. But you all know I got involved in the streets at an early age. But still respected, my mom. And I think the type of woman that she was a no-nonsense type of woman.
Yeah.
I won't say I feared her, but I didn't want nothing to reach her doorstep about what her son was out there doing. I had to go through what I had to go through. I had to find myself. And then too, you know, when you stayed in her house, you were going to church. So, you know, I used to tell people when I spoke in church that I was a drug baby. And I know most people, you know, would look at my mom like, no, Sister Goins. Sister Goins on drugs.
You were walking a little different. I didn't really know it was a defect.
But, you know, and I would say my mom drugged me to church. She drugged me to Sunday school. She drugged me.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You play on that. Yeah.
So I lived a double life for a long time. But it was the circle, the young men and women that was around me.
Yeah.
You know, that helped, you know, because y'all know we came up, but I ain't bring that around y'all. I had a certain respect for my church family, you know, so I was pretty much known as the protector when we went out, you know. So I'm not, I don't regret how I came up because it taught me a lot, you know, and it also taught me how I didn't want my sons to follow in my footsteps when it came to that side. You know, this is not your path. This is not your life. I did that, and that's where it stopped. I was first generation member. You know, I had nephews that follow in my footsteps, and it wasn't, you know, it wasn't a good thing, you know, but it's not always how you start, it's how you finish. So,
yeah.
And y'all know me now.
Quiet as kept, you were well rounded. You know every soft rock song it is that comes on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
This dude knows Journey, Sting, Foreigner.
Wow.
I was shocked, bro.
Yeah.
I was playing to be knew every song, almost every
Wow.
word. Like,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was the thing. It was like coming out of elementary. We kind of raised some hell in elementary. So my mom was like, "You're not going to junior high with your friends." And our home school was Bethune. But at that time, we didn't get along with the gang that surrounded Bethune.
Yeah.
So we came up in that bus area. So she quickly got me up out.
Yeah.
But
Or it would have been Bethune.
But even then, I mean, you still meet other cats from different neighborhoods, and we still friends to this day. So I don't think it's not too many things I would have changed because it really taught me.
Yeah.
So
let me show you. Let me go to the clip and show you the effects of how impressionable kids are.
Yeah.
I want to be pregnant.
Oh my God. I was like, was that a skit?
Exactly. Did you hear that?
What?
She said, "I want to be pregnant."
want to be pregnant.
Look like at a preschool.
Yeah.
Look, preschool or kindergarten at the most, graduation. She received her diploma, walked up to the mic and said, "I want to be pregnant."
Yeah.
Right, but what grade was she graduating from? You said preschool or something like that.
We were only guessing.
Right.
Yeah,
We're only guessing.
Right. Me personally, that was sad for me to watch. But I'm thinking, or I'm hoping that she meant to say president. But I was like,
No, Trevor.
That's communal. That's the communal eating, cooking together.
I'm trying to take it from a
pregnant and president sound totally different, bro.
Right, and I agree.
Yeah.
And like I said, it did. I didn't feel good about it at all. But I was just hoping that poor girl just made a mistake and meant to say. No, it's still nonetheless.
Her mama probably stayed pregnant.
I'm trying to take it from a positive perspective as possible, but I don't necessarily believe it because I heard it and it did. My heart was heavy to hear it. But I'm like, I hope that poor baby meant president.
Nah.
Just
No, she
Nah.
knew what she meant.
You know,
the way she walked to that podium.
Right.
she said it confidently.
Yeah.
She didn't stutter like I want to be pregnant.
Oh, different syllables.
Yeah.
She may not have known the context of what she was saying, but she has an idea of what she wants to be.
Yeah. And that may be just, you know, a young child wants to be loved, and they see a child can offer love to the mother.
Or she just wants to be just like you said.
Like her
just
mother.
like her mother.
Yeah.
right.
I mean, it doesn't stop there. You have little kids, little males that want to be thugs like the daddy.
Yeah.
Well, when I went to Verbum Day, there was a school that we had to go next door to and help and assist or whatever else. And there are some children that do believe that, and they do follow the footsteps of who raised y'all. You have some children that their mindset is too, when I get older, I'm going to go in the path of some of those before me. So it's a real thing. That's their poor little realities.
So Kim, I have a question for you. After looking at that clip, and you grew up in South Central. You grew up like we did. First of all, your takeaway from that, and you raised your children to be flowers in the midst of a concrete jungle. Mm-hmm. What do you think attributed to how your kids turned out and the path that you have them on? And you're not, what I like is you're not teaching them that to shun away from the neighborhood, but to make the neighborhood a better place.
Yes, thank you for that. I was just always honest with my children. I always told them the truth based on their level of understanding. I didn't sugarcoat anything. I always made sure that we left conversation with dignity. And I let them know we can be friendly, but I'm not your friend. And I have respect for them just as they have respect for me.
Yeah.
I hope so. But at the end of the day, children are going to do what they want when they grow up, right? So what I didn't want to do, I didn't want to get in trouble by God. So I just strictly Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. And that's a strong, strong scripture, because you always have to be in the word to be able to know what to teach. So a lot of people think that, it's God speaking to you about them, but it's really keeping you on point as being a trainer and up on your game as far as God's word is concerned.
Yeah, and being responsible for what we expose them to. Sometimes we think they're not listening, even at that age, and they are definitely recorders.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm still reconciling. I have yet to grow up myself, and my children didn't grow up in the best environment. They are Compton's finest, but they saw things, and their father wasn't a part of their life because he had challenges. He was there, but he wasn't there. But through it all, what I didn't do, I didn't badmouth their father. Mm-hmm. I understood, and I came into this situation with perspective rather than perception. And that perception comes from all of these societal ills that this society puts on the Black man. So we have to really be able to understand, have a deep understanding of what's really going on in our community, like the dinner table talks, and you being able to navigate through all of that, but still having respect for your mother and your family and the church. Those are some really real things that keep us grounded.
I think my dad's belt kept me straight. I'm just keeping it honest, keeping it 100. And my grandparents, they had a weeping willow in the front yard.
I remember.
And if you know about a weeping willow switch, it's almost like a whip. That it's flexible, will sting, and you know about, you had to go get your own switch, right? And my dad and my grandparents, even though they didn't do much to me, but they believed in spare the rod, spoil the child. I had a utmost respect for my dad and grandfather and grandmother that I didn't want to fail them. I mean, I didn't want what I did to shine on them, and I don't see that today. Like even with my children, some of them don't feel like, well, I want to do this. I don't want my dad to look bad. Because back in the day, you could get in trouble down the street. Oh, you Armour Jean boy, huh? Oh, you honey boy. Oh, yeah, you already know. You got caught up. They've been hitting my fence or picking my fruit. They was gonna say something. Mm. But I just think that this ideal, like you said earlier, EP, this corporal punishment. And where they tie our hands, where you can't even spank your child. Well, you got to spank your child with an open hand. You can't use the switch anymore. You can't use a paddle anymore. You can't use any objects. You got to use your open hand.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the challenges nowadays of raising children, right?
Yeah.
So along with not being able to use corporal punishment on your children or on our children, what are some of the difficulties that you guys came across while raising your children? What are, I would say, the top 3 difficulties that you guys may have had raising your children
besides the one that I just mentioned? Yeah. I'm just asking you a question. That's what you're saying.
Well, I used what you said as an interlude to go into a form for all of us to share.
I'm just saying besides that.
Yeah, he said one, I said one. So it's probably your turn to say one.
We know you didn't get corporal punishment. Yeah. Go to this corner, Trevor, and put your hands out. Hold these books up as long as you can. Go ahead.
The man. You got the voice down pat.
Nigga. But no, for me, I think it was the outside influences in raising my my child. You have the seeds that you plant, which is fine, but the fertilizer or the bullshit that they're around is also going to have an impact or an influence on them as well. And you can't necessarily be a helicopter parent while they're outside the walls of your house. But like she said, you raise your child in the ways that they should go. The key word here was should. You want them to choose that. And as a father, what I realized too is the closest example that our children have to God in the flesh would be their fathers and parents, but I think also more so the fathers, right? Mm-hmm. So the thing about God is love. God allows you to choose him, and we're doing that with our children. We're allowing you to choose to do what we're teaching you. We're allowing you to choose to function on the information and the seeds that we planted into your spirit, right? Mm-hmm. So now, once the father has done that, the child has to choose. And God himself, he loves us so much that he allows you to walk to hell before he forces you into heaven. And now we have to do that with our children. We have to pray that they choose to do what we teach them. So for me, that's one of the challenges in raising my girls.
Yeah, and we invite the guests, if any of you guys want to call in or leave comments, the number is at the bottom of the screen. Feel free to. A big part of me raising my daughter, and I know what the effects was just being there. Just a father being there and being attentive, so you can see when they sway. Like, it's especially raising a girl, and thank God, like I don't think my daughter minds me saying this, but like I've only had to discipline her maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times, and because I was there, she know, and like you said, the reverence thing. Mm-hmm. She reverenced me, so she didn't want to cause shame. Mm-hmm. And then they get to her age, around 13, 14.
They're going to test the boundaries.
They're going to test you. One day, she was kind of acting up at her mom, so I'm like, okay, well, you stay with your mom 2 weeks, and then you stay with me 2 weeks. She came and stayed with me 2 weeks. She didn't even make it a week, and I want to go home. Nope. You can't go home. This is what you do. You get out from school and you catch the bus to my house. When I get here, you should be here doing your homework. Came in. Where's Mimi? Oh, she didn't come. Picked the phone up. I was tired, bro. I didn't want to go over there, especially to her mom's house and discipline her there. But if I didn't do it right at that moment, you have the tendency to lose it. So I went over there and I'm like, hey, what did I say? You know what I mean? Like I had to, like, I don't want to look, you want to leave with some shoes on or you want to leave with some shoes off? Well, I don't want before I knew what I she took the
gaffled her up.
Yeah, she took, but I didn't have any problem with her after that because I set a boundary and it was done out of love and respect.
That's the part right there, out of love and respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He risked his fingers.
What does a child do when they don't have a father in the home?
Well, I always say there's a male figure somewhere near that can cause some positivity in that child's life, especially for a male. It's needed. It's a must. I mean,
could be because you also have the wrong influence.
Yeah,
in some of these homes or in the environments,
that's why I'm saying a positive male role.
Yeah, that perpetuate this or make you feel like you're less than for doing the right thing.
Yeah,
I mean, Canoom that. You know, we had several.
Absolutely. He was our dad.
We had
too.
several men, and that was the good thing because it even started with the shepherd. Yeah. You know, we had some positive men, and
I got tired of sharing my dad with y'all for real.
Well,
but your dad, you couldn't do it. And I hope he's watching.
Yeah,
I got tired of sharing.
What
about me?
We still text every morning.
His dad is who Al was preaching about Sunday that put the boxing gloves on.
Yeah, we put the boxing gloves on.
That's his dad. Yeah, his dad. Yeah.
So we had several of them at the church that we looked up to, that we were going to respect.
Yeah.
So and they met us where we were,
but we also didn't want to disappoint.
No,
them.
we didn't.
That was the thing. We reverenced them.
Right.
So, like, I'm 50 years old at the time, still not posting certain things or taking some down because I didn't want to bring dishonor to. Oh man, Uncle Red's gonna see this, or my mama gonna see this, because my mom is very active on my Facebook. Like, oh man. But if you follow me to Instagram, then it's on there.
Because she's very active on mine too.
I hope you got some of your answers, but another answer that I would say is if it's a little boy, he definitely needs to have some type of a mentorship, but you also have some kind of programs that they could be put into. Sports is often one way to help get someone from a male figure to help them learn, because they're not just coaching them on the field, but it's also giving them some principles to a certain capacity. Hopefully to answer your question a bit. Then for little girls, there are also a lot of little programs that they could be in. Now, thank God with the WNBA, they can have a coach that can kind of mentor them.
Wait.
Some of the same things. Then you also have swimming, volleyball.
I don't even want to go. The WNBA. Yeah. I don't know about that one. I mean, it's a great sport. Basketball is. But it also breeds, it's a farming ground for homosexuals. I just wanted to say that right out. You know, it is a farming ground for, I mean, that's the way it is. But go ahead, Trevor.
But there's also sports for young girls that also have some higher income or more paying jobs. And I think the WNBA is getting to the point where they're starting to pay more, but you also have volleyball, you also have swimming and things of that nature that little girls can also be involved in with other little girls that also have some form of mentorship. So just to answer your question a little bit more directly, so now you have two answers for that.
I think the Debutante for little girls is a great program for, it teaches them to be feminine, teaches them the curtsy and all of those things. If you find a great debutante program, I would say yes.
So I would definitely go further into saying one of the difficulties for him raising his daughter is hoping she don't go in the other directions of same sex.
I never worry about that. I never worried about that. I'm just saying, you throw them into, it's just like you start hanging around 9 broke people, you bound to be the 10th one.
Okay, let's go to a comment. Let's go to a comment. Papa Poe has a question. He said, Kimberly, You possess the impactful balance of being feminine, intelligent, gracious, and firm. What's your fuel for intentionality, being so gracious yet firm?
God, by God's grace and his mercy, and all of the angels that he bestows upon me on this earth. And for me just to step back and just accept my purpose in life, and that is to uplift and encourage the Black man unapologetically. That's it, and that's that.
That's your.
Did you say that's your purpose in life?
We got
Wait.
go back to that.
Hey, Keith.
Yeah.
Keith, record this. Say that again, Kim.
That is my purpose in life, in perpetuity, to uplift and encourage the Black man.
We appreciate
Oh
you.
Lord.
Perpetuity means
Oh Lord.
until the end of time.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Perpetuity.
Jesus. Jesus, teach him. Teach him, Kim. Teach him. Teach him, Kim.
Well, we definitely appreciate y'all.
You about 1 in a million.
Right. It's not too many.
Yeah, you
But
do you do a class, Kim?
That's the problem.
Do you do a class, Kim?
No.
Okay, you need to do one. We're gonna set you up. We're gonna get Kim a class to do with women and teach them what you just said. That's gonna be the.
I think that it has to be organic.
Right.
It can't be forced.
right.
Oh no, we're not gonna. We gonna force them.
No.
We gotta force some of them. It's either do this or get out the way. We about building Black family over here, and I think one of the purposes of building Black family is to extend the legacy. And I think that is one tool. What she just said, if she could teach all the women in LA, and when maybe we could capture 10%, we'd be good.
Do you guys still think that social media has an impact on us having
Hell
the ability to do that effectively?
Man.
Of course. She's going to do it on Instagram, and she's going to get so many followers. What was that woman name? I don't even like to plug other people, but she was a relationship coach, and she stopped doing relationship coaching because she was saying that a lot of women were unrealistic in their approach. And I think a woman like Kim could teach what she's talking about, and it would flourish. We would be all better off.
I was leaning more towards the impact of raising your children in competition with, or the effects and impact of social media in raising your child.
No,
Was that me or just anyone?
I was posing.
it was a general question. Go ahead.
It's the camera culture. Everyone wants to be in front of the camera. Everyone wants to be documented. It's just with us in our society, we are unique in this setting. So we have to take unique approaches. We can't take on the colonizers' way of doing things.
Ooh.
We could pick up things, but we have to develop our own strategy and recognize how we're being weaponized. And I think that social media is good, but it's also not good for the younger generation if there aren't people like our men to intercede on our children's behalf. That's just not happening. And there's just this blur of reality, virtual reality, as opposed to physical reality that people just aren't understanding.
I agree. I think that we need to have, as for those of us that are raising children that are living in the same household, they need to have a digital diet, because they're going to have to need and be able to use some of it, but there should be some terms, limitations, and boundaries with it.
I think maybe just engage, like actively listen with your children or with everybody. I mean, like, I'm engaging with you, I'm actively listening, I'm looking you in your eye. We don't have that anymore because there are all these distractions. Rightfully so, because I do a lot of my business on all of my devices, but I do have to take a step back and do that digital diet. But when I do, I have to really submerge myself in that human, right?
I definitely agree. I think as a result, we're becoming socially awkward, and a lot of people aren't understanding how to socialize and the proper etiquette in certain environments. And that's going to be that can cause our society to implode.
Well, I know that the best way for me to talk to my son is to text him. Whereas when he was little, we would talk. So I have to adjust myself as well because I'm older and I have to understand, just like my mom had to understand, there are changes in every generation. And one thing about our generation is what I see, we blame a lot on them, or we put them down rather than trying to understand that they're in a different space right now. So we have to just take on a more cross-generational approach to everything.
But
Yeah.
do you also feel like if you do like, okay, so one of the things is like texting and you're in the other next room. I'm like, don't do that to me. I just like feel like come talk to me. I only reason because I feel like some texting you lose some of the context of what you're really trying to say. Like my daughter loves to FaceTime me. My children love to I'd rather FaceTime than text. You know, so that is another thing that like you use in technology. We will FaceTime. All our communication is mainly FaceTime. You know, and I get to see her facial expressions when she's saying something and how she feels about it. It's just, you know, texting is hard for me. It's not hard for me. You could do it, but it's. I think you become socially, like Trevor was saying, become socially inept or socially retarded when you start texting too much, right?
Let's go to this comment real quick.
Go ahead.
Terry Bowden says, when men are present and mothers support the standards set, children will align.
I agree. I totally agree.
I agree too. And that the earlier you do it and you set boundaries,
Yes.
and you set a pattern and
Yes.
you get an understanding, the better off I believe the relationship will be.
But at the same time, when you don't get that, you still got to do your job as a man and as a father. You know, you still have to have them conversations. They got to understand, like, look, like when mine was in school, when they weren't with me, I was showing up at the school. You know, I was still communicating with the teachers. I didn't care that they were with her. It was her time. They still had to see me walk through that gate.
That's important. That's like, just like I said
That
earlier,
presence.
being there, being present.
Yeah.
That's everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But do you, I've been listening to what you all have been saying, and do you realize when you had your time, or when you had your time, and there's a breakdown in our family, and we're so unique that we've still made it work through all of this. I mean, if you I don't want to get too deep. The first system of oppression it broke us. And then we went into Jim Crow. Now we're in the third system of oppression, about to go into the fourth, but we're still here talking about family. Being tribal is in our DNA. That's why we have so many gangs here in Los Angeles. So I really do know in my heart that we need our men.
Okay.
Present in every sense, everywhere, all the time.
I agree, but like we were saying, sometimes it's hard for us to, when you have certain, and I want to say females, because women or, you know, ladies, they welcome us, but then when you got to fight to be a part or to be present with someone, and that creates a whole lot of turmoil. And that's why I said, even when they were with their mom, it didn't stop me from going up to the school. I'm still finna go up there and check, hey, how your day going? You know, talk to the teachers. They good? Every teacher had my number. And I used to tell them, look, any issues, text me, email me, call me. Don't let it, you know, keep building up. No. First, because more than likely I can handle that with a phone call.
When you made mention, we need to have the men in the house. I do believe, and I stand on this. What has been done to us was an evil genius. But even to this time, or this sect of time, in all actuality, we were starting to believe that you said, not to discount it, but we're believing it because we're not seeing it in our in like at least two. When you don't see it in 2 or 3 generations, you don't believe that it happened. But in all actuality, there are at least 200 lakes now that were thriving Black communities. You have at least 64 riots where Blacks were doing very well and whites came in, killed and or hung Blacks. You have a few times in history where they would have, I'm going to say a few, let me go to one. They would have a Great Depression while we were having a Harlem Renaissance. So because we didn't see it and experience it, does not mean that that did not happen. So they're trying to, they don't promote it as much. They don't talk about it, but no, we did very freaking well. We did very freaking well. So it's just that because we didn't see this in a couple of generations, then we kind of believe that, oh, we need to come together. Oh, we need this. Black folks need to know. We had towns, even up as recently as 1995 in Philadelphia. We had a whole thriving Black sovereign community, and they came in, bombed, set on fire those people. So what ends up happening is you have this I don't want to call it Willie Lynch, but you have this mindset that, damn, once I try it, something's going to happen. Oh, if I do this, we're going to, and it makes us start to believe because of what we see in a certain generation in time that we ain't doing it. Oh, we can't come together. But in all actuality, we have. So and now they're burning our books. Now they're trying to also have what do you call this? They're trying to implement the draft. Then they took away the what is it called when for Blacks to go
when you come back to it, when you think of it.
College.
Well, what you've described is the Black
Write your shit
experience. We live and we reside in anticipatory grief ever since they brought us over here. So that's what you're describing. We're just going through different waves, and it's not socialized because we don't control media. Right?
Yeah, and I agree with you. I agree with both of you all that the American way is, hasn't been favorable to us. They have from Ralph Ellison's The Invisible Man to even today, Tommy Curry, he just wrote a book called The Man Not. So it talks about the total dehumanization of Black men, right? So if you dehumanize us, and in Ralph Ellison's great work, you're invisible to society. That means you stand at the lowest of lows for Black men, and I'm glad that you champion Black men. And I think more women need to do that. I think we are standing at a pivotal time where we can make a difference, and knowing certain things that happen to us. I don't like to so much harp on those things, but know that they've happened so we can be greater in the future. So we can teach our young men, like, self-esteem amongst young men. If they were taught a high self-identity, I don't think we would be out there killing one another like
epigenetics have a lot to do with that not happening.
Let me ask you this, Kanoum, around about how many young Black men do you think you influence? Just you have influence over how many?
And
just a brief number, just
in my lifetime or
right now?
Right now, I would say maybe 5.
Okay, how many?
I'd say probably 50.
50. All right, you, Kev.
Wow. That's a hell of a question. I would say maybe 15 to 20.
Okay, and I think I maybe 40, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? If we took our influence and we put something together to do something to where we invited the ones we do have influence over, and we started something, and we started forums like this, and we started to show them, and we find out who doesn't have a male role model, or we find out, okay, he's doing this because he don't have this. We address some of the needs. We find out who has strengths, who we can pair together that could also be a benefit in the whole group. If we start there, we got to start somewhere.
But isn't this the forum in which we can do it? Because
No,
of
no,
this,
no,
to a
no.
certain
Close and
extent,
personal.
this isn't starting to you guys.
Okay, who's watching? How many of them are watching
Right.
right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
How
If you're
many-
saying
Not that
50
many.
people are watching that you're influencing, then yeah, we're doing something in
Just
here,
because
there.
they're not watching this doesn't mean that, because none of us are confined to just this right here. But this is a way of starting. This is a form of doing something. This is
Okay,
a
this
form
is
of,
okay. The second tier. We starting with this conversation. It starts with the conversation. Thank you. So now we're gonna move to the second phase,
Right.
and we're gonna get them all in one room
And you need that. That has to happen because
we can sit here and talk about it
right.
all day.
all day long.
All day.
But like, I just want to do. We had the big homies, bro.
Right.
That was
Okay.
impactful.
And then look who used to come pick us up, the fatherless young
Yeah.
men back then.
Yeah.
Come
Started
get-
always with
and take us-
Randy
yeah.
and Yo Pops
yeah.
Mhm.
So
and Eddie and all that.
Right.
But we never forgot it, and we're in
No.
our 50s
right. But
because we were influenced by them.
right.
So it makes no difference if they don't revere us
Right.
or want something. I know a lot of people are enamored by what I do, so I got to use my influence
Right.
while I have it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If not, we're just talking every week.
And then we gotta continue it. We gotta make sure it continues to happen. We can't get started and then it breaks down. I do, I go into the schools. I do male groups in the schools.
Yeah.
So, and you can tell the difference. And a lot of time, most of these young folks, all they want to know is that they loved.
Yeah, or that you care, or that
That you
they're
care.
seen.
Right.
Like I do career days every year, bro. Like probably a couple times a year, and I can tell the cool kid who's just ain't paying, and I identify with him, and I go right at him. What's up, man? What's up with you? He might walk through 10 different territories
Right.
on the way to school for survival. So he has to be tough.
They do.
So there's different things that I've lived already. I lived in this community, so you can't tell me nothing. So I know the you laughing? See, this is the problem. It starts right here. The guy that can't identify with the hood, with the little hat on and the little golf shirt.
Well, here's the thing.
Here's
the thing. Let me. Okay, good. You get that off, and I respect it. But we had some people outside that were supporting us and giving us a thumbs up right outside, and I was like, okay, that was cool, because they were listening to what we were saying, and the Aaron and them are right outside, like, okay, so that's what I was smiling at.
Yeah, but you can't do that if you're on the show because you're distraction. And what it is, you made me lose my thought,
Right.
and now
Sorry
some
about
kid
that.
is going to be lost out there because Trevor can't contain himself
Right.
during the
Nobody
serious
saw me.
part.
I'm
He-
saying
he
some
waving
people
at the
give us some
window.
support.
But
We
Trevor,
were talking.
it does
If
take
they would have saw you, you was doing this.
Nobody. Wow.
but
like that.
The camera
go ahead.
was on
I'm sorry.
you.
That brings you
We were
back
getting some
to
support
Hold
just
on, Trevor,
now.
have
Like,
respect.
that-
Have respect.
that brings you
What?
back
Have
to
respect.
I respect
That-
you talking.
that brings you back to the topic: who raised you, right?
Mm.
And I think the reason why that question came about is because there isn't a strong enough presence of men in our community.
I agree.
Men are our pillar. And what's bothering me or what's vexing my spirit a bit is that they're saying that the Black woman is the most unprotected, right? I disagree because our children are. Because if their men aren't there, the women are left to raise the children. So the children are the most unprotected. So I think we have to stop coming into these spaces and these situations with perceptions and really take a step back and look at the logic or the illogic we're spewing and get to the root cause of the problem. Who is in the way of our men doing what they need to do for our communities? We need to address that. And we need to be able to come to the table and speak intelligently with respect about that and do come up with these solutions. You all have the solutions. You just need the support. You need for some women to get out of the way and let you do your job, what you were here on this earth to do. I'm just going to say it. That's what it really is. I've seen a lot of women get in the way because they wanted to control the situation. And it's not for them to control, it's for them to assist and help for us all. So that's all I have to say.
See what I mean? See why she's here?
That was
see
the
why
real
she's
spit
here.
portion of the show.
That was.
That was.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to add anything else, Kim?
As we
I mean,
closing.
as we're closing, you have the last word, my dear.
It is imperative. It is absolutely imperative for our survival, for women to just uplift and encourage our men. And that's it. A smile, encouragement. Don't talk bad, support. Just if you can't say anything good, just don't say it at all. And that's all.
That was profound.
It was. Thank you guys. Until next
Yes.
week. Thank you for joining Sptt'n Pollaseedz. We will be back next Wednesday. Same time. We're probably a little earlier, 2 or 3 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
Same time.
Was it an hour?
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa, look, where does the time go?
Thank you.
Keep it locked right here.
I want to apologize to you for you thinking that I was laughing at what you were saying because we were getting some support. So I want to apologize.
Monica. I don't need your crumbs of inspiration.
Your crumbs of inspiration. Wow. Wow.
Crumbs. Get them crumbs off your shirt.
Not even whole bread loaf. Not even a whole slice of bread.
Hey.